Didn't even get to cross.
Hey guys, it's me ABC bringing you a tutorial. I've been one out in a long time, so I'm busy doing schoolwork and everything else, but now I've decided to bring you a Cinema D text tutorial, one of my favorite text setups. Let's get right into it. We've got to open up Cinema 4D and we'll just go straight into render settings, and if you want pause it, but you want 1920 at 1080, and then you want to save on the alpha channel, and then down here and click on ambient occlusion and global illumination. Just untick those for now, as we're not going to be needing them. Once you've done that, just turn the camera and you've got the right position. Zoom it out. There we go, no graph, no text. Just wait for that to load. Okay. Now, as you can see, it's dark, so we need to go and merge in our Lightroom. Today I'm going to be using the Lightroom provided by Wanted. It's a really good Lightroom that I've provided in other links and other videos, so if you want to go and get it, check them out, or just search up Wanted set to Lightroom. Click on OK if you get an error message. It should pop up. You won't be able to see it as it's up there. Load. Okay, there we go. So we're just going to bring our text up into the middle of this Lightroom and then zoom back into the text. The text I'm going to be using today is called Batman Forever. If you want to find it, I'll put the link in the description, but if you can't find it, just search it up on Google or something like that. It will be there somewhere. So there we go. The text I will be using today is going to be Ali Guy, as he has asked for some graphics, so you get it. I'm just going to set it to 70. Okay, now we're going to go on to cap, put it cap, and 2. And now we're going to use a plugin today called Greebler. Just click Greebler, and then hit Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, pop into the text, drag it in. Okay. Now we're going to go on Greebler, and I have a preset, so I'm just going to load that up. So it's basically just stock Greebles. Everything I've just changed around. You don't want any of these selected. I just find it makes it look really ugly and just makes it stand out too much. So you don't want any of that separated. And then on the base, you want to make sure the min is 3 centimeters, so max 7. You can play around with this if you want, but it doesn't really matter too much. And then within that range is probably the best. And then the B level. The bevel, is 7% min and 90% max, and that's pretty much all we're going to need. So just minimize that and drag it a bit further back, slightly. Okay, now what we're going to do next is Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V back, bring in an atomary, and drag that into or an atomary, set that to 1. If you just do the bottom one, the top one will automatically change to 1 as well, as the top one needs to be bigger than the bottom one or the same value. So that's good. And now we're going to start adding some colour to it. So for this signature I'm going to be using some blues. So down here I have a nice blue that I'm going to use. Just going to drag that onto the main text. So that's just vehicle. Turn to it and check seamless. That looks quite nice. And then we'll go down. The only thing I'm going to use is red. Just drag that on Greebler. Fix this vehicle. See, vehicle, zoom this again, and for the atom array, we'll use this type of array. You don't need to change any of that. Just wait for it to catch up with itself. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in. I'm just going to render the region to see what it looks like. So to do that, you press and hold the middle button, click on render region, and you just select the area that you'd like to render. So I'm just going to let it render out. Okay, so that's looking quite good. We've got nice bulky text, which is the Greebler, and then we've got the atom array going around the Greebler, which gives it a nice outline to it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is just going to play around with the craft of the Greebler so it just stands out a bit more. So we're just going to bring that down a bit. I'm not going to take that up. I'm going to take this up. And this makes it slightly more bulkier. That's always good, and because the atom array does not update, the Greebler updates, we just Control C, Control V that. Leave the Greebler inside here. Drag that one. Start update parameters. Okay, now we're gonna copy and paste the text, and we're gonna go to plugins, Thrausi. On that one, I'm going to temp set, and I'm going to break it up into 20 pieces. Hit on the break now. Should start doing that. I'll come back when it's done because it's probably going to take a while. Okay, so there we go. It's done now. So let's go close out of that. And we'll literally make sure we're all selected. Press the top one, don't let go, and drag down. Turn them all to ticks, and then we're going to bring in a monograph. Vector random, drag these to random. We'll make them shatter, minimize that, and just drag this back. As you can probably see, my computer is very slow. So that's why when I move it around, it just goes into hollow squares. Which sucks, but you know, you get used to it. But when you're only using a laptop, you have to pay the price, I'm afraid. So we're just going to get this into a nice camera angle, and then we're going to render it out. Okay, so that's looking good. We're just going to bring the random slightly further forward. Oh, that's slightly better. Otherwise, looking good. Make sure when you go to render it, you just check these two again, and you start rendering it out. So I'll come back when it's done. So there you have it. There is the final signature that we'll be making today. As you can see, you have around here and around all the text, you have the Greebler, which makes it stand out more. It gives it a nice detail, and behind you have the Thrausi, which just gives it that nice spiky effect to it. I hope you enjoyed this day's tutorial. Sorry if I stutter any time, there's a live commentary.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and share for more.